Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm doing a playthrough of Phantom Epoch, I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. This is a cooperative dungeon crawler for 1 to 4 players, and disclaimer that I got a review copy of this one. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our weekly podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. So Phantom Epoch is a new dungeon crawler, and it's very much in the vein of Gloomhaven. It's heavily combat focused. You're playing in 2 spiral-bound books put together, kind of like how Tidal Blades 2 did it. Love that. Dungeon crawlers keep doing this. On the other side of the book, I'll show you in a second, is like the narrative introduction and special rules for the scenario. And this is a sci-fi game, kind of along, Mass Effect-y lines. There's some existential threat coming to threaten the entire galaxy, and we need to kind of pick up the pieces from some ancient civilization and take up their mantle. The only thing I've played so far is the tutorial, which is very brief, takes just a few minutes. I didn't think it'd be worth showing it on the channel. And there's really not much narrative in it. Basically, you wake up on this special spaceship, and they're like, hey, you got a job to do. And then they're going to actually explain what's going on. So I'll show you the introduction for that in a second. But yeah, this is a pretty standard combat dungeon crawler experience. We got to fight these guys, get through this door, get to that treasure chest, and then get back out. That's going to be this scenario. I'm using a rogue and a warrior. You pick both your class and your species, which is going to change things up. I'll show how that works when we actually get into the gameplay. And the enemies also have classes and species, and that determines which cards they use for their actions. But let's do a little bit of narrative introduction and see what's going on with this scenario, and then I'll explain how the game actually works. Urcal 1, The Way Revealed. How did you get here? Was this an ancient vessel of the Vanished? Where are they now? Not knowing the name of whoever or whatever has been speaking to you, you simply refer to it as the voice. Whether unable or unwilling to answer your questions, the voice stays silent. The next few hours are spent exploring the Phantom Epoch's facilities. Legends speak of such craft as this capable of flying through the stars, but no one living has ever seen one. The craftsmanship of the vessel is reminiscent of the treasures left behind on your homeworld by the Vanished, irreplicable technology over which many bloody wars have been waged. Several of the rooms are destroyed, their original contents and purposes unrecognizable. As you enter a room with a glowing orb, much like the one you had previously activated, the voice finally speaks. They succeeded, and yet they failed. You must rebuild. They hid the way. I will reveal it to you. Infuriatingly cryptic as usual. The orb springs to life of its own accord, and a translucent image of the red planet that you had seen from the room you woke up in appears. The name of the planet, Burkov, that's a V, floats above it. The image expands rapidly until a small area near an active volcano becomes visible. A precarious path above molten lava ends in a cave marked with an X. An image of a Greylock wielding a bow appears. The Greylocks of Burkov know not what it is, but they guard it jealously. You must recover it. Objections that you do not know what it is either are cut off as the room fades around you. Moments later, you find yourself on the path you saw in the image, the intense heat of the molten lava below nearly overwhelming you. Yeah, so I didn't say, but part of the backstory for this is that space travel has been lost, so we're all kind of stuck on these different planets, and we can't communicate with each other. There are rumors that, the rich and elites of the world can still communicate, but we can't. All right, so we've got our objective. Retrieve the treasure. W3 just refers to the coordinates on the map to show where it is. So you've been sent to Burkov, the volcanic homeworld of the Greylocks, and must recover the treasure marked by the X on the holographic map. It is fiercely defended, and you will have to fight your way through. After recovering the treasure, you'll need to return to the entry point to be transported back to the Phantom Epoch with it. And we've got to start out Greylock archers and Greylock sentries. The Greylock part is their species. That's going to determine one action card set they use. And then the archer and sentry is going to determine the other card they use. You'll see all that soon. Okay, a shout nearby draws your attention to the group of Greylocks readying their weapons to attack. They clearly will not be giving up the treasure without a fight. Okay, so we've got hazards for the first time. All this stuff I've already done. We've got gaps. Yeah. Okay, and yes, there is a orb here that if we interact with it, and they're recommending that we do, then we can get some kind of bonus. We've got a mission event, which is going to be triggered by some of the event cards. It's going to be one of the first things we do on each round, and an event adversary that can also be summoned by the events. But that's all we get for now until we move on to the door that leads to the treasure room. So let's actually see how the game works. And we've got minis for the characters, at least in the edition they sent me. You have both standees and minis you can use for them. And then standees for the enemies. And this game has this cool rotating health technology. Y'all can kind of see that, right? Oh, whoops, I made the standee come out. So this is used to track their health without needing to do any kind of damage stuff. Very nice. You just snap it in, and then it spins pretty smoothly. I found a few that were a little sticky, but I just had to kind of work with them a little bit more. You also have these little slots here that you could put their initiative number or status effects they're suffering from. And then if you put a white disc under somebody, that's an extra 10 hit points. So right now, the rogue has 13, 3 plus a single white disc. disc. The Greylock Sentry has 11, 1 plus the white disc. So pretty easy system. By the way, they spawned in, again, kind of Gloomhaven and other dungeon crawler style, by player count. Okay, so look, 2 to 4. If there were 2 to 4 players, I would have a Greylock Archer here. If we were one more, 3 players, we'd have one here. If we had 4 players, we'd also have a Sentry there. So nice and simple kind of things to do. In terms of the map, things that have nothing around them except kind of this black border, these are gaps. We can leap over them, but we can't move into them. We can shoot them. It's not going to affect our ranged attacks at all. Things that have this blue around them are objects. This is a system I've never seen before. These are all destructible things. If we hit them once, they'll get damaged. If we hit them again, they become difficult terrain that you need to spend 2 to move into. And you can either attack them as your main target if you want, or when you do a range attack through them, you have to roll this accuracy die, and you might hit them, that's like the arrow breaking on the cover, and deal damage to them. Or if you get the little targeting success symbol, which is 3 of the 6 faces, then you actually get your original target. An X means the attack misses entirely because of the stuff in your way. But yeah, so that's objects. These are hazards. If we move onto or through them, we're going to take some damage automatically, and also the mission event will cause lava to spew out of them and make us burn. Here's the orb I was mentioning. It has a number 1 here, so we'll read a special thing in this like little book of secrets if we get that. But it is blocked currently by an object, and to collect an orb, you have to move next to it because it has these blue lines around it. That means that it's an indestructible object, so you can't move onto it or through it, and you can shoot through it, but if you hit it, you don't do anything. Yeah, and they've got some like little things blocking here, more cover. So the good thing is they're going to have to run around to get to me, but I'll also have to run around to get to them. And each of the enemies gets a card. No matter how many of them, even if there were like 3 archers, they would all have the same card. Shows their hit points. Guard is automatic damage deducted from attacks. Attack is a bonus to every attack they make. Range is their basic thing. Critical abilities, if they use a critical, they get to do something, in this case applying status effects to us. And every enemy has 4 levels. You're suggested to use the level of your mission. So right now it's 1 star. But I could, if I wanted to, use a higher level, which doesn't just make the game harder, it also means that they drop more Nova Cells, because they drop a number of Nova Cells. This is like kind of like coins in Gloomhaven. It's both what you use to buy stuff, but it's also used to power your coolest items. So it's kind of got a double purpose there. So I could have chosen to fight like level 2 or level 3 guys, but I'm just learning the game, so who knows if this will be easy or not. And then here's one of my characters. So the board came in their own unique envelope. Here you go. Here's the one for the rogue. So there's 4 starting classes plus a 5th if you buy this little expansion, and then a ton of advanced classes. The game does not say how you change your character over to the advanced classes yet, but I imagine it'll be some kind of like cool level up system. But yeah, so I picked a species, which gives me a card like this, and that determines which miniature or standee I use. Gives me my base hit points, my AP max, because this is kind of a cool system. Each of your cards has a cost in action points, and you can use as many cards as you want on your turn up to your action point maximum. So I could like attack 4 times or something crazy. Then I've got these like minor items. If they don't have a number here, like the hidden bar, because it's an always on ability, in this case gives me a different thing to do with my critical ability, because every class comes with its own critical. How criticals work is you're rolling 1 die when you attack, and there's 1 crit on the blue safer die, but also 1 fumble. And then if you use the yellow die, there are 2 crits, but 3 fumbles, and also higher numbers. So the yellow die is kind of like your risk-reward option. And then I've also got this adhesive grip. This is what I got in the tutorial. That does nothing for now, but if I get a Nova Cell and rest, I can put it on here, and then I can use it to have a fumble not be as bad for me. There's also space for armor, but I haven't gotten any yet. Items, which we'll have to build in our lab. I haven't even unlocked the lab yet. And also areas for like cards you've played, actions that are ongoing, discard. And this is really cool. I think more dungeon crawlers should do something like this. Every time you get healed in this game, you put a little bandage here. And once both slots are filled, you cannot be healed anymore. So it kind of immediately takes away that concern with like character balance, where you might have like a healer and the game can just go on forever. Although another thing that keeps the game moving is that the event deck starts with 5 1 through 5 cards on top, and then all the rest are these 6+ cards that are way nastier, that summon like a lot of extra enemies, kind of force you to wrap things up and hurry up the game. Here's my other character, by the way, a Greylock Warrior. So you can see he has much different hit points and AP. They each have a special power. My Slink has automatic blocking, automatic armor against range attacks. This guy, if he has to switch a card to being an attack card, because again, kind of like Gloomhaven, you can use any card as movement or attack. He can make that extra attack better. And he's got a Radiant Spark, another critical ability if he doesn't want to use that one. And he's got the Sporanium Crossguard, also needs a Nova Cell that will let him retaliate when somebody attacks him. And they've each got a deck of 10 cards. These are just the starting cards, but you get these SPs, skill points that you can spend after each mission. I actually could have bought a new card after the last one, but I only had one, so I wanted to go for the more powerful ones. And yeah, at the beginning of each mission, you pick 10 of the cards available to you to use. So right now, these are just the basic 10 for each of them. All right, so that should cover the basics of kind of what's going on. So let's actually go into a round. So first, we're going to roll the decision die, and this just breaks ties for the AI. So here I've rolled a E with a little S in the corner. This one's a little bit dark. But how the tiebreaker works is, first, it's going to always prefer the color. So this is dark blue. So like if they could attack either of my units equally, they prefer the rogue that has a dark blue color to their base over the warrior that has a red base. But if that didn't help resolve the decision, they take the eastmost choice. If that doesn't help resolve the decision, they take the southmost choice. Nice little system, by the way. I've never seen something like that, but I like it. Okay, now we're going to draw and resolve an event card. And in this case, it's nothing happens, which is a decent number of the 1 through 5 round ones. Okay, now we get to the main action. Each of us will either rest or select character action cards. And if I was playing cooperatively with more people, this would be simultaneous. So again, this is the AP value. 2, 3, 4, and sneak attack is their most expensive at 5. And the total of the cards I pick cannot exceed the Slink's max of 11. But additionally, that's going to be your initiative. So the more cards you play, the later you will go. And the enemies will also have an AP total that they use for initiative. And then on top of that, any of these cards can be used for movement, even if they don't say, like this one lets you leap 4 spaces, but even if they don't say that they let you move, they can let you move. So when you would resolve the card, you can just discard it for this movement value, same as the AP cost, which is why there's a foot next to it, instead of doing whatever it said. Like if I didn't want to find vulnerability anymore, I could just move 2. So what I'm thinking here is they're both pretty far away. The archer has a range of 5, so right now out of range, and they would have to, unless they can like leap over the stuff, they'll have to walk all the way around the objects. So I'm going to have both my characters pick a ton of cards and try to like use all their action points to hopefully go last, and they can run in and murder these guys before they get to do much. So for the Slink, let's prep Flurry, which is a double attack, each with a -1, but as you'll see, the Greylock Archer is super weak, so -1 is still probably going to be enough to hurt him a lot. And then Sprint for move 4, which is not quite enough. You know, you can do Parkour as well. What's that? That's 7. And how about a throwing knife for a range attack? Like, hopefully we can make all this work. So that is a total of 10 for them. All right, and the warrior, sure, dash for 1, and tackle is nice. It's a move 4, but then they can, like, potentially knock down whoever they end their move next to. And sure, a attack +1 sounds good. So guard abilities, this is, again, going to give you armor against every attack against you. And whenever it has the little clock symbol there, it's a temporary ability, which will last until the beginning of my next turn. So like if I purposefully go late, that should be great. What do I have so far? I can go up to 9, and that's 6. So let's get a shield bash. Yeah, and hopefully we'll be able to move. So, okay, so that is a total of 9 for the warrior, 10 for the rogue. So the rogue will go after them, but let's get to the enemies. So the enemies will each pick 2 cards for their type. So like every enemy is using the same card if they are a Greylock Sentry, if there's multiple of them. And the first card is always based on their species. So here it's going to be only Greylock for both of the types. And then the second card is based on their class. All right, so Greylock Sentries are going to do a defensive stride. And then this card, the class card, is going to change based on their color. So in this case, we have a yellow Greylock Sentry. So they're going to try to subdue us after the defensive stride. They always try to do this one and then this one. Whereas the archer is going to do a lumbering charge. And then they are red, so they're going to do a triple shot. Jeez. All right, so that's what they're doing. And for initiative, just like us, they are adding up the value. So the red archer is going to have 7, and the yellow Greylock Sentry is going to have 8. So they do both go before us, which is great. So archer is first, and this first step of their turn is determining their primary target. And this is pretty straightforward once you get all the rules, but I'll walk you through it for the first few turns. So it's the closest enemy in range and line of sight, which is currently nobody. They're not within 5 of anybody. Then it's the enemy with take the fewest MP to be within range and line of sight to attack. Let's check that. So they have 5 range, and the only thing that totally blocks line of sight are walls or things that are treated as walls. So they're not going to care if like this blue object is between them, although it will mean that they are more likely to miss their attack or hit the object in the way instead. Okay, so 1, 2, well, let's hold on, let's count. So they want to get within range 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 would get them in range 5. And then they're going to use the decision die to figure out who they want to prefer. And again, it's going to be the dark blue. So they're going to go after the rogue. So they need to move 4 to get there. This card only gives them 3. So they're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then they would have attacked with a -2 modifier, dealing less damage. You'll see how that works in a second. But they're not in range, so they skip that part of the card and just go to the next card. And now this card is a triple shot, attacking up to 3 targets, each with a -2 modifier. but they're still not in range. So anytime that they are not in range to like do and they can't use anything from a card, like it doesn't have any movement on it, like the other card did, it doesn't have like an ongoing bonus, like this defensive stride, the R means that it applies for the entire round, even if we had gone earlier. So these kind of cards, they will never cancel. But for a card like this, if they can't do anything on the card, they will instead use it for movement to try to get to a better position. So here they have up to 3 more movement, just like when we convert a card that we didn't want to use. And they want to get to maximum range, but still close enough to attack us. So they're going to stop right there. Sad for them that they got into ideal range, just like I hoped they would. But that's it for their turn. And next is the Greylock Sentry. So they have a +1 guard this round, and they're going to move 2. And yeah, they're trying to go the exact same path because they don't have any leaping. Some cards do have leap, but they didn't draw it. Because you can leap past objects, you can leap past gaps. Oh, and the enemies and us can move over hazards, although the enemies will always prefer not to move over hazards unless like they basically have no other choice. All right, then for yellow, they would attack, inflicting knockdown, but nope, they're going to move 4. And they only have range 1, so they're going to come right here. Ah, man, so they are blocking, and they have the plus to defense, so won't be able to mob the red guys easily as I'd hoped. Okay, and that's it. Pretty straightforward, right? So they just do their primary target, do their species card, do their class card, done. And again, if there were other sentries, other archers, they would use the exact same species card, and they would use the same class card, but the different colors would change what they would do. Because you're supposed to like spread it out. So if I got another archer, I could not make them red. They'd have to be light blue, dark blue, or yellow. Okay, now a player turn. I would remove temporary effects, like if I had played like an ongoing guard card, like the warrior last round, it would go away this round. Then I apply any new effects. This is also like, by the way, if you're burning and taking automatic damage from status and stuff. And now I can play or convert my character cards in any order. I have to fully resolve one card before I can go to another one. And then I discard every card unless they're like in a temporary position or whatever. All right, so just to remind us, the Greylock has a tackle and a dash and a slash and a shield bash. We don't really need the dash anymore, so let's do the tackle first. So we're going to move forward. It says must end in a space adjacent to a visible enemy. After the move action, roll the accuracy die, and if I get a block or success, that's a 5/6 chance. I'm going to inflict knocked down on one adjacent enemy. Let's do it. And I want to get out of the rogue's way, so let's go all the way over to here and roll to knock down this guy. Oh man, are you serious? That's a bummer because when somebody's knocked down, first of all, they can't attack unless they spend movement first. So that would force the adversary, the enemy, to like waste some actions. But then also while they're knocked down, they don't benefit from any ongoing R ability. So we could have taken away this guy's +1 defense. And he's already got 2 automatic defense against every attack. So he's got 3 defense this turn. That's a bummer. Well, so it goes. Let's try to slash the guy with a +1. And we have to decide what kind of die we want to use. So the blue die, the highest value is a 4. And like I said, it has 1 crit side. Crit counts as a 3 for damage dealt, because this number is the amount of damage dealt, but then we subtract their guard and we add any bonuses. In this case, the slash was a +1. So if you get a crit, it counts as a 3, so in some ways not as good as a 4, but it lets you activate one of the critical abilities on your board or items. So I've got 2 to choose from, but I can only activate one of them. And then it also completely pierces their guard, so it's like they would have no defense and I would just get the damage straight through. Now the yellow die has higher numbers and has 2 crits, but it has 3 fumbles. And a fumble is worse than you think because it doesn't just cancel the attack you're doing. It also means that you can't make any more attacks for the rest of the round unless you have something like this adhesive grip, which for a Nova Cell, if I had one, would let me not have that secondary effect. But either way, I mean, this guy's armor is just too high. I'm going to go for the higher risk. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll roll for the blue for the first attack and the yellow for the second attack because I don't want to waste it. But what's the best I can do here? If I get a 4 + 1 is 5, -3 is 2 damage. Well, I mean, the best I can do is a crit. Yeah, you know what? Never mind. I'm doing the yellow die. All right, so here's my +1 attack. And yeah, predictably, I mean, it is 1/4 of the results on this die. Or no, more than 1/4, right? 3. Yeah, 3 out of 8. I'd miss my attack. Dang it. All right, so I still have a dash, but I don't really want to move anywhere. And I cannot, unfortunately, do the attack from Shield Bash anymore. But I can still get the +1 guard. So I still put this in my temporary area until next turn. So my warrior will have a little bit of a harder time being hit. But the rest of these go to my discard pile. And how it works is, as my entire turn, I can rest to get all my cards back. Now, there's no like trashing of a card or anything like in Gloomhaven. I just get my discards back to my hand. All right. So attacking that guy seems dumb. And I do have options to get around him. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to sprint first with my rogue up to 4 move. We'll go right to here. Then we're going to do parkour and leap 4, which lets you go over pretty much anything except walls. I can go over objects. I can go over fire without touching it. Only the last space matters. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Hello. And then let's do my multi-attack. Attack -1 twice. And definitely using a safer die for this. Now, we have attack -1, but they have guard -1, which is actually +1 to your damage. So basically it cancels out, and these are dealing full damage rolled. This guy's only got 7 hit points, so come on. Okay, there's a 3, so he's down to 4. And the second attack. Oh, 4, nice, so he is gone. And he was a 1-star enemy, so we put down a Nova Cell where he was. And then we still have a throwing knife. Now, what do we want to attack? This guy's got 3 guards still. While this object's blocking our way to the orb, any amount of damage will get through or start damaging it. So yeah, let's go ahead and use a throwing knife on the object, actually. And we'll try to play some special cards to hurt this guy more next turn. So I'm doing an attack on this one. If I fumble, I still won't damage it, but otherwise, any amount of damage. There we go. Puts a damage token on it. 1 more hit will destroy it, leave a yellow terrain in its place. And then we can actually get to the orb just by ending a move next to it. Okay. And then at the end of a character's turn, if they are on or adjacent to Nova Cells, they get to pick them up for free. So that was the end of my turn, and there we go. I got to the Nova Cell. Although it does not immediately go on my adhesive grip, I would have to, during a rest action, charge that item up. Or I can just save it as money to buy things later. We'll see how it goes. All right, and that was a round. We did our cards, we did their cards, we determined initiative, we played out the turns. We're going to discard their cards. If there are any end of round effects, there are not. We do it again. Oh, and for now, the Grey-like Archer card can go away, since we just have a sentry left. All right, decision die. The sentry's going to prefer yellow, north, and west this round. We do an event card. Ooh, this is great. Mission event, thank you. Because you see how this guy's next to this big ball of fire here, right? So mission event, lava erupts all around. Every figure that ends the round, ends the round. Dang it. Adjacent to a fire hazard is inflicted with burning. So if he doesn't move, which there's a decent chance he won't since he's already next to my guard guy, then he'll get burned some. All right, now what do we want to do? Okay, so look at this. Find vulnerability. Play before performing an attack action, and the attack gains Pierce 4. That would completely cancel probably any guard he has. Could also blind him so he has a chance to miss. I don't really need to be invisible. Backstab is great. Look at this. Attack +3 instead if another ally is adjacent to the target. Or sneak attack, damage ×2 if the attack is performed while you're invisible. While you're invisible, enemies ignore you, but after a little while or when you do an attack, it goes away. You know how these things tend to work. So I'm thinking like find vulnerability and sneak attack. They would go together great. And into the shadows. I mean, I'm going to go very slowly. That's a 10, which means the Greylock will definitely go before me. But that should, hopefully, unless I fumble, be enough to straight up kill the guy, because his guard won't apply at all. I'll be doing like 6 to 8 damage. It seems pretty dang good. So sure, we're going to try that. Then if the guy's dead, we can just rest to get our cards back. As for the Greylock guard, he's already got a guard ability, so I don't really want to attack too fast. Ooh, heavy swing, attack +3 seems pretty good. And then she would have 3 more. I mean, guard +3 is kind of a waste. Oh, here, let's give her this to leap around. She has to leap in a straight line, but that's okay. So that'll be a 9, so she will go before the rogue. We'll get to see what the sentry has done in that time. All right, and sentry is doing a cumbersome run, although, again, I don't think they'll have to move at all. Then they're going to use Stoic Defender. Guard +1 to self, adjacent non-sentry allies, and adjacent objects. And then if able, attack -2 on the primary target. If not, move 3 toward the closest. Well, yeah, they're just going to attack my guy, so that's actually fine, I think. So they've already got a closest target. They're not going to move at all. They do have move 4, but they don't care. Then they're going to have... Oh, sorry, I didn't see. They have a 6 initiative. Okay, so yeah, lower than either of us. So they're going to guard themselves. And they're going to attack -2 on me. And they always use the safer die unless otherwise instructed. So 3 -2 is 1, plus their automatic attack bonus, which makes it a 2. But I had an ongoing +1 going, so I take only a single damage. I'm down to 16. Not bad. All right, now I'm going to do a heavy swing on them. It's attack +3, and they have guard 3, so at least I'm canceling out their defense. So let's do the safe die this time. And, okay, only 2 damage dealt. They have 11 to start, so they're going to be at a 9. I have to take off the little base here. It just sort of tugs off. There we go, so they're at 9 health. Then I've got a leap 4. Yeah, I guess I could just like leap over here to help destroy the object or whatever. Okay, and then the rogue, so they're going to move 2 and gain invisible, which doesn't really matter because they're about to lose it from attacking. Then they're going to cancel all the guys' guard with Pierce 4, and then they're attacking with double damage and losing the invisibility. So that is 6. So this guy's down 2, 3. We are running out of attack options. And yeah, I should have left the warrior over here. Then I could have used backstab to probably finish them off. But oh well, a bit too late for that. Oh, shoot. Am I going to be burning? I'm going to be burning. Whoops. I forgot that I didn't want to be next to the fire either. So burning makes a figure take 3 damage at the start of their next non-rest turn, then remove the condition. Ooh. If the figure, oh, that's great. Because, yeah, if you rest, you get rid of your negative conditions before they affect you. So before the burning happens. These guys don't know how to rest. So at the beginning of his turn, he's going to die. And I can rest and get rid of the burning because I want to get my cards back anyway. So that is fabulous. So yeah, with that, we shouldn't need any decision die, but that's our preference this turn. And the new event is Sore Muscles. Every character that has an empty bandage slot rolls the basic attack die. If a fumble is rolled, the character receives 1 bandage. So this could take away one of our chances to heal. Okay, so for the rogue, no. And for the warrior, no. Good. All right, the rogue is going to indeed prefer to rest. So they'll get all their cards back and get rid of the heat, the burning, and all that. The Greylock, though, let's have them do a parry. It doesn't really matter. But that'll let them attack with +2 to destroy the object next to them so we can get to the... Well, actually, can they move? Can they afford... Oh, here, this works. They'll do a lunge to destroy it and then play the shield up, not for the +3 guard, but planning to use it for movement to get next to the orb and find out what's going on with that. And then they'll rest the next turn. All right, Sentry doesn't actually matter, but they would have done a lumbering charge and then just done a basic strike at initiative 7. Okay, so first is the Slink. When they rest, they get all their cards back. They can change out equipment. They can charge anything with Nova Cell, so now their adhesive grip is ready to be used. If they fumble with an attack, they can use that to still be able to attack for the rest of the round. It doesn't cancel the fumble. You need better items than the basic level 1 ones to make that happen. And again, they get rid of the burning, so they're good to go. And then the Guard and the Sentry both have an initiative of 7. Heroes, player characters, win ties when it comes to initiative. So I will get to attack, and then I can, again, convert this to 3 movement. So I just got to not fumble, so I can break this thing. Boom, so it's gone. Replaced with yellow difficult terrain. It's going to cost 2 movement to move on to that. So we have 3, though, from converting that card. And the second you end your move next to an orb, you get to flip it to its inactive side, and you find out what's happening with it. And in this case, I'm going to read entry number 1 in the extras book. Let me grab that. Here we go. A little narrative secret moment. Time stops and the battle freezes around you as a familiar tingling sensation engulfs your body. This time your vision does not go dark, but you hear the same male voice from the first vision aboard the Phantom Epoch. Log 1. We begin experiments today. I fear we are making a mistake, but she is right. What choice do we have? Our secrets must be scattered as a failsafe. The first key is encoded in this message and is now yours. Touch the orb in the time chamber to use it. The tingling sensation ends and the battle around you resumes. And yeah, a lot of these, from what I just kind of skimmed and saw what was available, this is as far as I've played so far though, will let you unlock a new mission. So now we have the option to do mission Burkov 5, which is going to be tracked on a little campaign sheet, which missions are available to us. So this is going to be the same planet because you're kind of gallivanting between 3 different planets. So it's a new place, a new mission on the same planet. All right, cool. All right, and then the Sentry activates, but blah, he takes 3 damage. Oh, I don't know why I'm turning that. He's dead. Which does leave a Nova Cell right here, but you can pick it up at the end of your turn if you're on it or adjacent. So since the Slink already went, they would have to end their turn next to that again, which we can try to do like on our way back, right? Because we got to rush before the events get worse. All right, let's go to the next round. We'll still roll the decision die in case it matters. And then we're going to do an event card. Ooh, all cards are +1 max AP for the round. I don't think that'll matter very much. The Warrior's definitely going to rest because they got tons of cards missing, so they'll get all their stuff back. But the Slink is fully charged. Now, whenever we move onto this door, badness is going to happen. Although anybody that's spawned during the round does not activate until the next turn, so it shouldn't be, like, too terrible. But let's see. I want to do a throwing knife once I go in there, in case they're far away. How far do I have to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or I could just do, where is it? Yeah, the leap for 1, 2, 3, 4, right past the object. So that's 3. What if I also move into the shadows and get next to them invisible, and then I'll be ready to do like one of my super attacks, and they'll just like run right past me to go after the warrior because they won't be able to see me. So that's 9. My max is 12 with the event. Should I do anything else? Nah, I think that'll be enough. All right, there's no enemy cards to be resolved, so the warrior just rests. And I am going to leap 1, 2, 3, 4. When you move onto a door, you open it. Blink, and let's see what's happening. The door slides open, and hissing growls echo against the cavern walls. Illuminated by the red glow of the lava is a pack of ferocious quadruped lizards. At the back of the cave, glowing softly, is a chest. You have found the treasure. Now you must survive long enough to retrieve it. All right, and here they tell us, so we have to retrieve the treasure. So for 2 and 3 and 4 players, we're going to have 2 of these trained Grylo beasts on T2 and T4. Then we'd have more if there were more players. All right, so here they are. I randomly picked yellow and dark blue. Again, they're not doing anything this round. And here's their 1-star stat cards. They got 6 hit points and only 1 guard. Way easier to kill than, well, I guess not as easy to kill as the archer, but easier to kill than the sentry. 1 attack, 1 range. And if they get a crit, they place a poison hazard in an empty space adjacent to the target using the decision die. Cool. But oh, you thought I was done? I ain't done. Oh, wait, I did already parkour. So let's go ahead and do a throwing knife on one of these guys, attacking at range 4. And how line of sight works, I didn't actually explain it, is you pick 1 vertex of the 6 around your hex, and you pick 1 vertex around the enemy, but it can't be the same vertex. So I couldn't go like from bottom right to bottom right or bottom to bottom. But I mean, here it's going to be pretty obvious that I can reach either of them without touching any cover, without hitting a wall, any of that stuff. So yeah, we'll hit the yellow guy. And they've got, what, 1 guard? Well, let's go for a regular attack and see what happens. Only 1 damage through. That's okay. Here's a free little plinky attack. I wasn't expecting much from it. Okay, then finally we're going to move in to, we'll just run right toward that treasure. Oh man, it's surrounded by obstacles. We got to break some stalactites. Mites? Which ones are on the ground? And we become invisible. There we go. Here we can just put it. We don't have the standy things to hold them, although I could use the standees. I'll just put it on my character sheet. And while I'm invisible, I can't be targeted by any action performed by any figure other than itself. I can move through enemies and they can move through me, so I couldn't like block the door with myself. And it goes away at the end of my full turn, my next full turn, or when I attack. So next turn I can just go ham, like waiting until after they've run by me to get to the warrior and backstab the heck out of them. It should be awesome. Oh, that's it, isn't it? That's the end of the round because the warrior already rested. And yeah, cool. All right, going into the next round. Let's roll our decision die, although it's not going to matter much because we know who they're going to target. And it's yellow and west. And we get our last nicer event. Interrupted rest. Any character that rests this round randomly discards 1 action card after resting. Well, luckily we are both good to go. All right, so these guys should be rushing over. They should not be able to reach me, so I think I'm going to do like a really late attack. What's his max? 9? He might need to move. Where's that one? Yeah, I was thinking like maybe I tackle. 1, 2, 3, 4. I bet that they'll get that far. So that's only a 2. And then instead of doing heavy swing, why don't I do a lunge and a slash? That would get me to the max of 9, so hopefully I'll go after them. Okay, as for our rogue, we also want to go late and let them go first. Where's my, sneak attack I definitely want to do, so that's 5 out of 11. And serrated edge makes them bleeding, which means they'll take 2 damage automatically over and over again at the starts of their turn, but these guys aren't that tough. I mean, theoretically, the sneak attack and the 2 warrior attacks will be enough. So let's actually maybe prepare Flurry to hit one of the things blocking the chest twice, and like sprint. That gets us to 9, which means we can't... Oh, we could do find... I'm actually going to get find vulnerability too. Yeah, it's 11 total, our max. But it should give me enough to like move to the guys, hit them, maybe move back to the chest. We'll see what happens. Definitely need to rest afterwards though. All right, as for these guys, they've got move 6. That is faster than I thought. And then let's see, the dark blue one's going to do pack training attack, adding +2 to the attack if the trained beast is adjacent to an ally. Hopefully they won't be. And the yellow one's going to leap 4 and then attack weakly. Okay. And it's 11 and 10. Oh, crud. So our Greylock is actually before them? Wow, they're going late. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was adding up the 6. So 8 and 7. Okay, so the yellow one goes first. They ignore me completely, so they want to move 6 first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then they're going to do their long pounce. So they're going to leap 4 and attack -2. So both these are equidistant, but they prefer the west, so they'll go right there. And attack -2, 0 damage. Yay, because we... Oh, no, that's right. Their base attack value is 1. So it is 1. So he's down to 15, still doing fine. Okay, then the other one's also going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then pack training, they would attack, but they can't, so they can convert it to 5 movement to also get next to him. Okay, this is going to change things some. All right, so my Greylock is for... Oh, I just realized my my warrior is the same species as the people we're fighting. So you can't move past enemies. Must end in a space adjacent to a visible enemy. After the move action, roll the accuracy die. So we could, I guess, still try to knock down one of them. But let's see if we can kill the blue one first with our 2 attacks. And then maybe we can, like, rush past. Okay, so we'll do the slash first. So the +1 will cancel out their guards. We're just doing straight damage here. I'm going to use a safe die for both of these. 4. We only got 2 left. And then we'll do the lunge. Has range 2, but we don't care. And nice. That one's dead. Okay, we can drop that. And then I don't want to waste the tackle, so I'll go here so that I'll pick up that thing at the end. And then I get to roll this, and this time it worked. This guy is knocked down until he can spend a movement point to stand back up, which the AI will prioritize with whatever his first action option is. All right, now things have gotten a bit weird for the thief over here. I guess I'm going to use Find Vulnerability to move next to the rocks. And then we will still do Flurry to attack twice. Going to get through the rocks quickly. So remember, anything except a fumble will work. So that's good, and that's good. So it's broken. And should I just grab the treasure now? I guess so. So I'll use the sprint. Oh, and I have attack, so I'm not invisible anymore. Smashing rocks will do that. So I'll move. I think I have to end the move on or adjacent. Let me check that. Yeah, I have to end my turn on or adjacent. So I'm not going to be able to use my backstab or whatever that was. So those all just get discarded. And then I pick this up. And we know some badness is going to happen. The chest springs open, revealing a small cylinder of the same metallic material as the walls in the Phantom Epoch. But there's no time to inspect it now. Shouts from behind indicate that Greylock reinforcements have arrived. Okay, new objective. Escape through an entrance point or defeat all enemies. Okay, the mission is completed when the character retrieve the treasure ends around on one of the entrance point spaces, kind of far, or when all adversaries are defeated. If the character retrieve the treasure is defeated before reaching the entrance point, place the treasure token on the space where the character was defeated. Yeah, because you don't lose if one person gets defeated. You can still win with the remaining characters. Then another character may retrieve the treasure. Yep. Note that the mission event changed, but the event adversary did not. Oh, we get a new mission event. If any event referring to an event adversary is drawn, continue to use the most recent event adversary. So we're going to have one Greylock Berserker. And it says they hit extremely hard. It may be best to avoid engaging with them. And now a new mission event. Instead of the fire happening, we get an extra Greylock Berserker in the same place, E9. Oh, crud, they're back where I came from. Okay. They have 9 hit points, 3 base attack, plus whatever they roll. -1 guard, though, and range 1. And on a crit, you roll the attack die, and if you get a critical, the blitz attacks, that's one that has 2 out of 8. You add 3 more damage to the attack. I mean, that's pretty unlikely. All right, so we either need to get me all the way back to one of these, or just defeat these 2 people, but it sounds like more are going to be popping in, and I'm about to be going into the worst events. So I think I'm just going to run. Did the assassin use their leap yet? Yeah, they're probably going to want to rest next turn. And then we can, really sprint. All right, so roll our decision die, and let's get our first nastier event. Something has happened. Oh, man, mission event. So that means we've got another Greylock Berserker, and if you can't go on the spot indicated, you can put on anything adjacent. So for south and then east, so we'll go right there, I guess. And sadly, since that happened before the draw adversary action card step, that person is going to get to have a full turn. Whoa. All right, so here. I'm still going to rest, because nobody's anywhere near me. And I think Warrior will try to kill this guy while he's down. What have I got? How about this? Seems like a good combo. Heavy swing and shield up. I mean, this guy might get to hit us before we get a chance, but then we should be pretty safe for a little bit. All right, and the Train Beast is going to do another big run. And then, what color are they? Yellow. And they're going to do a pouncing attack again. That's good. It's weaker. And the Berserkers are going to move and try to attack. Well, that won't happen. And then yellow and light blue. Wild Fury, a triple attack, but that won't happen either. And then yellow is also going to try to attack. Oh, and they have way less guard if we can get to them. So initiative, and they do have tokens to keep track of initiative if you don't want to. So it's a 7, an 8 for yellow, and a 10, which means everyone except the light blue Berserker is going to go before my guy. And all he has to do is spend 1 movement point to not be knocked down anymore, and then he can attack me normally with his leap. He doesn't want to go anywhere, though. He's just going to sit there and snipe at me. I don't have any defense yet, and he's got -2 to this. Oh, that's a crit! So the -2 still applies, so it's only doing 1 damage. Thank God for that. But they also get to use 1 critical ability. Place a poison hazard in an empty space adjacent to the target using the decision tile. So I guess only empty spaces there. And someone who enters poisoned takes 3 damage and is weakened. Well, I wasn't going to go that way anyway. Okay, then the blue Berserker, yellow's first. Yellow's going to move 3, won't be able to reach me yet, and then, actually won't move anymore because this has a R ability, even though it's a -1, they still cannot convert that. That's how the AI works, so they're only going to move 3 towards me. All right, so 1, 2, 3. The blue one, though, only has attacks on their action, so they can move up to 9, because they convert their second action to, that's right, I'm before them, though. So I guess I'll just go ahead and attack the guy right in front of me with 5 health left, hopefully kill him, and then guard. Oops, I forgot to add the +1 that they get automatically, so I'm actually at 13. Okay, now I'll attack them. 2 + 3 is 5. Oh, but I think he has 1 automatic guard. Yeah, he does. Gosh darn it. He still has 1 life left. And then I'm just guarding, so I'll have +3 guard if anybody attacks me for a little while. And they rested, so I think we're ready to go again. And hopefully we won't get more automatic enemies. All right, decision die. Event, emergency evac. When the round ends, if any character is defeated and all mission objectives have not yet been completed, the mission is lost. Oh, okay, so this is just a timer if we had a player eliminated, but we're okay right now. I mean, I think we are, unless they can do a ton of damage. So at this point, besides killing things to farm those resources, which like the warrior can do, I just want to kind of get out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's like with leaping and stuff. When they have 11 AP, so that should actually be pretty dang doable. See, I'm going to sprint for 4. Where's my leap now that I have everything back? There we go. Parkour, that's 5. That would already get me 1, 2, 3, 4. Parkour, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going past the object. And then I could take the 3 damage and burn myself to get over there, which would be fine. I'll get the throwing knife, which I can get for 3 movement, and into the shadows gets me my max of 12. And all of them have like movement options, and I can just kind of, I should be fine, I think. As for the guard, I just want to go late, so my guard bonus counts, and kill that guy. Oh, and I forgot about that one. So a shield bash seems good. Oh, I didn't even look at brick wall. Look at this. All damage against a warrior is treated as 0. New detrimental conditions cannot be inflicted from loaded as invulnerable. This card may be the only card, or must be the only card selected this turn. Otherwise, must be discarded or converted to a move or action. Actually, here, let's do parry instead. Guard +2, attack +2, move. It'll have me go late, but not super late. I think that should be fine. The berserkers are guarding themselves and moving, not very fast. Trained beast shouldn't be doing much, but they are, doing a takedown attack. And the parentheses means that status effect is inflicted if it causes any amount of damage. So if it's fully guarded against or they roll a fumble, it won't count. So here with my guard and them being -2, I might be okay. All right, and initiative-wise, they're going 5. That's very fast. Yellow's 9. Light blue is 8. My warrior's also 8, and they'll go first. They are a full 11, so they'll definitely go last. So yeah, first is definitely going to be the 5 here. So they still don't care about moving. They're just attacking with a -2, trying to knock me down. So 4 plus their base 1 is 5, -2 is 3, which means they totally miss me and I don't get knocked down. Ha ha ha, thank you very much, lizard. All right, next is our light blue friend who wants to move 2 with the guard, but they can only go 1. And then their overextend is to attack for 3, but it can be converted to 4, so they'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. Yellow guy has 9, so... Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. The guard has 8, so he was supposed to go before this guy. So wait, hold on, let's go back. He was back here, right? Yeah, so I'm going to do my attack first. This guy has no bonus, so I just need to, not get a fumble. There we go, that's a 5, actually really good. I wanted to do that because I wanted to get paid. I got 2 movement. I'll just have 2 guard, by the way, not 3, because my other thing ran out. But now I can run over here and pick up both of these before the end of the game, hopefully. Love that. All right, then the blue guy still tries to move 2, then still tries to do an overextended attack and can't, and still moves, in this case, be right next to me. Okay, then yellow wants to move 2, and then wants to do pain fueled. Attack -3. If the attack would deal at least 1 damage, instead deal damage equal to the amount of hit points the berserker is missing to a minimum of 1. That's fun. But here, this is fun. I think I understand this correctly. The only way they can get next to me and in range, which is what they want to do, is to move 5 to that. So they will go to a hazard if that's the only way they can do anything, which means this guy takes 3 damage and is burning for next turn. Not that it's going to matter for the final results, but I think it's funny. Okay, and speaking of burning, let's do our little combo here. So we'll do sprint for 4 move. 1, 2, 3, 4, back onto the door. Leap for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, high berserkers. And then move 2. So burning myself, and then I can convert that to up to 3 more. And we make it, and we're going to heal fully and lose all conditions anyway, so we don't have to really track the burning here. And yay, that'll wrap things up. The world shimmers around you, then fades away as you are returned to the Phantom Epoch with a mysterious cylinder in your hand. It vibrates, then flies out of your grip towards the orb in the briefing room. A small opening appears in the orb, and the cylinder disappears into it. A shimmering schematic materializes in the air before you. It is labeled Laboratory. We must rebuild the laboratory if we are to succeed, the voice says. Next to the blueprints, a list of supplies required for building and a map of where to find them. Congratulations, you've completed the mission. Okay, so we get to do our first expedition, a story number 1 expedition. These are set things that happen in a specific order. Let me grab that. Along with the blueprints for the laboratory are directions to a treasure cache with all of the materials needed to reconstruct it. The map points to a very large asteroid orbiting Burkov. A short time later, the Phantom Epoch touches down precariously on the asteroid's surface. Your team disembarks wearing strange suits that the voice says will keep you safe outside of the ship. You soon find the cache, vanished technology, and a stash of Nova cells. Suddenly another starship roars overhead. The voice speaks inside your helmet. The Timeless have found us. My masters did not give me the knowledge of where the Timeless came from, if they even knew, but they have weapons that cut through space, and we do not. We must leave. There isn't enough time to take everything. I'd say we can take as many Nova cells as you can and take as much vanished technology as you can. mean, I've already got some decent amount of Nova Cells. I got 4 total between my 2 characters. Let's do option B. You take all the Vanish technology, but the Nova Cells are lost to the Timeless. Gain 4 Vanish technology. So you track your Vanish technology on your campaign board, and it's a resource you can spend to unlock new upgrades for your ship. So we've got the workshop, the laboratory, and the surgical room all require Vanish technology. I've got enough for the... Did they say I got the laboratory schematics? I made it sound like it, right? Shimmering schematic material is labeled laboratory. Yeah, okay. Oh, and here we go. Reward laboratory schematics. Yeah, so I could now get the laboratory. I'll leave that out not to have too many spoilers. But I believe that's what lets you start building items to equip your characters more. And either way, I unlock Burkov 2 and I embark on it next. So I gotta do that mission next, even though that other orb I found gave me another mission option. And just to show you, I'm not writing things down because I'm going to play with my son. So I want to keep things fresh. But here's where I would keep track of my available Vanish technology. You can gain fame on the different planets, which lets you access better items to buy from them. You check off which missions are available to you here. So what was it, like Burkov 5 and 2 or something like that? And I just did Burkov 1. And then you also check off which ones you've done. Any notes you want to keep track of. So that's how the campaign is kept track. All right, then I can optionally perform a planetary expedition from the Burkov expedition deck. Let's do that. Now these, I believe, are shuffled, and most of them are like a one-time thing. So here we go, number 5. The Phantom Epoch scanners pick up a vanished treasure cache on a small moon orbiting one of Burkov's neighboring planets. As you approach, a timeless ship appears from behind the moon. It doesn't seem to have spotted the Phantom Epoch yet. You may be able to reach the cache and get away before the timeless spot you, but you have no way of fighting back in space. On the other hand, you could use this opportunity to study the timeless ship from a safe distance and possibly learn something about them. I'm a little scared of them. I'm going to do B. The timeless ship appears very similar in design to your own, with the major exception being that it has no viewports. A static-filled transmission in the same ancient language that the voice speaks suddenly blares through the ship. Terminate all others, all our others, terminate all. This repeats until the voice breaks the connection. And because the expedition has right here this little shuffle symbol, I'm going to shuffle this back into that planet's deck instead of getting rid of it entirely. So I could have another chance to be braver next time we try it. But now we get 1 SP per character, and I had one from the last mission. These can be purchased to buy new actions for our characters, and then we'd have to pick only 10 of them to bring into a mission. I'd like to show you what the Rogue could afford. Grudge gives them Vengeful for 1, which means they would get to perform an attack after being attacked. And then Phantom, oh, this is freaking awesome. So this is a permanent card, which means it would just sit next to my board for the rest of the mission after I play it. And it says performing attack actions does not cause invisible to be removed. That's pretty dang neat as an upgrade. Now there's only 4 upgrade cards at 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost for the basic classes. I'm assuming, but I'm not sure if you can eventually switch to the advanced classes, and I'm not sure if you'll bring back some of the cards you built or not. I'll discover all that out and talk about when I review the game eventually. And then we get the laboratory schematics, which again, I'm going to hold off on. Yeah, we already did the story expedition. Now, we do get a few more things. First of all, every time you succeed in a mission, you get to draw cards, 4 of them of the basic, what are they called? Attachments. These are called attachments. We draw 4 of them from each tier that matches the difficulty of our mission. So here, just level 1. And each character gets to pick 1 of them. Now, if we pick a broken attachment, we just get 1 Nova Cell. We can also just sell these for an amount of Nova Cells equal to their tier, so for 1 as well. The Sharpened Edge, both my characters could use. They have these icons. So the Rogue has this and like a cross sword icon, and the Warrior has both of these icons, so they can get tankier items. Enhanced Leather Shield. After an attack completes against the character, negate all damage and detrimental conditions from the attack. Wow, cannot be charged during a mission, so that's interesting. So it's basically 1 use per mission, because you could charge it with a Nova Cell ahead of time, but then I couldn't charge it again while I'm playing, because they know it's awesome, but dang, that's good. I'm probably going to grab that. And then a Sharpened Edge, before a character does a attack, I could spend the Nova charge here to add Pierce 4 to the attack. Pretty dang cool too. Or again, I could just sell these to get another Nova Cell. And then additionally, I can go shopping at Burkov. I'm going to stop here after showing this. So yeah, so you can only look at the tier 1 cards until your fame becomes greater on that planet. So they have helmets and breastplates and shoes. These are the 3 armor types you can equip. And they have light versions of them. These ones have an ongoing effect, but they cost more to purchase, and they have an ongoing negative. So like here, I would get -1 to all my attacks. My initiative would always count as being 1 slower. I would get -1 move. These ones don't have the negatives, but you need to actually charge them to use them. But like, look, the Horned Helm. After a melee attack completes against the character, deal 2 damage back to the attacker. It doesn't apply if they fumbled and totally missed you. So pretty powerful stuff. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there because, again, I want to go grab my 12-year-old and start playing this with him. I think he'll enjoy it. And whenever I've gotten far enough into the campaign to confidently say that I can talk about the game, I will do a review. But thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Miles, Wayne Scott, Steve Wren, and Casey W. We'll see you at the next stop.